In Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the second arc, near the end of it, we actually get to Jaden actually duels the main villain, Professor Farmius Viper. And he uses a very interesting deck. It's all about just loading your opponent's monsters up with tons of venom, slowly weakening them until it's just too much and they die. Or in game terms, we have Venom Swamp. During either player's end phase, you place a Venom counter on every face-up monster except Venom monsters. Monsters lose 5 attack for every Venom counter on them, and if this reduces them to 0 attack, they are destroyed. Pretty interesting, isn't it? We have a way to just destroy half the field because we're playing Venom monsters. We're not going to be destroyed. Let's talk about some of these Venom monsters. We got Snake, who once per turn can place a Venom counter on a monster your opponent controls, but this card can't attack during the turn you do that. Then we got Serpent, which can place one Venom counter on a monster opponent controls, but doesn't have the same cause but not being allowed to attack. Snake does have a little bit more attack, but such an irrelevant amount of attack, it doesn't matter. Then we got Boa. It does take one tribute, to put 2 Venom counters on one monster opponent controls, but this card can't attack. It's the upgraded version of Snake. Also, all the monsters are Earth Reptiles. What this monster does, what these monsters do is they just start putting Venom counters on their opponent's monster, reducing their attack by 500 per counter. Every end phase, this card also puts more counters on, making everything have even more reduced attack, except our own monsters. Oh, and we also have Venom Cobra, which is just a 2000 defender. That's all it is. But we have more than just that part of our deck. We got Venom, the king of poisonous snakes. Can't be special summoned by another monster's effect. I know that sounds really confusing. All that means is it can only be special summoned by its own effect. That's it. Unless it's like with a spell card or a trap card. If a monster can't attempt to summon this, except itself. I know, confusing. It is unaffected by Venom Swap and gains 5 attack for every reptile in my graveyard. And when this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can banish one reptile to special summon this card back. There it is. That's how we bring back our monster. Its only real thing is it can gain a little bit of a lot of attack, plus reduce our opponent's monsters, and won't get reduced itself. But where it really comes in handy is Rising of the Snake Deity. When Venomanagan, the king of poisonous snakes, let's just pretend I said that correctly. You control is destroyed by except by battle. Special summon Venomanagan, the deity of poisonous snakes, from your hand or deck. So this card was destroyed by card effect. Oh, and look at this. It just says the face of card you control is destroyed except by battle, which means where's Dark Hole? Anyway, this card you summon is this. It has 0 attack. It can't be normal / set. Must be first be special summoned. We have Rise Snake Deity. It can't be special summoned by other ways except its own effect. I'm just gonna start with that. It has the same effect after being if it's destroyed by battle, and you bring it back by banishing a reptile. Anyway, it gives 5 attack for every monster, and neither player can target this card with card effects. Also, it is unaffected by other card effects. Intargetable, immune to everything, gains a bunch of attacks, reduces your opponent's attack power. Even if your opponent manages to destroy it, it just comes back. Oh, and here's one more thing. Every time this card inflicts battle damage to my opponent, we put a Hyper Venom counter on this card. And when this gains 3, we win the duel. Unfortunately, if this card got destroyed by battle and came back, we lose those counters. But I think it's well worth it for a chance to just instant win the game, especially the look on your opponent's face when you get to that second counter and your opponent realizes there's nothing they can do to stop you, and you attack, and they just amazing. Anyway, we have more than just these cards in our deck. First off, we got Venom Shot, and a normal spell card. Activate only while you control face-up Venom monster. Venom Deity of Poison Snakes, Venom the King of Poison Snakes. Send one reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. Place 2 Venom counters on 1 face-up monster opponent controls. This card reads, if you have a Venom monster, Foolish a reptile, and reduce the opponent's monster by 500. We already went over the Swamp, which is a field spell. So it can be searched by stuff like terraforming, and if you got like Field Barrier, it can stay on the field for longer. Unlike Venom Burn, which target one monster with a Venom counter, remove all Venom counters on that card, inflict 700 damage to your opponent for each Venom counter removed. That's quite a lot of damage, as long as you don't think about the math. Now, you're going to need 12 Venom counters on one monster just to win the duel, assuming that your opponent hasn't lost any life points yet. Technically, it's like 11.4, but we're going to have to round up, because you can't really just do a portion of damage. Anyway, our next card, Ambush Fangs. While you control a face-up Venom monster, cards activate only while a face-up Venom monster you control declares an attack. Negate the attack and end the battle phase. Then put 1 Venom counter on the monster that attacked. I misread that. Sorry. It is if it's targeted for an attack, you place a counter on your opponent's monster, and in the battle phase, you give your opponent 500 attack debuff, and the battle phase. It's negate attack, but better. Although it doesn't work with the Venom Deity of Poisonous Snakes, or King of Poisonous Snakes. Our next card, the final one in our deck, is a counter trap. Snake Deity Command. Activate by showing your opponent 1 Venom monster in your hand. Negate the activation and effect of 1 spell, and destroy it. This is a spell negation. That's all it is. Now, with this deck, it's all about reducing your opponent's attack points. But our monsters don't have that much attack points on their own, so we're gonna have to find out ways to get around that. For one thing, how we can get around that is a lot of floodgates. Like, so many floodgates. An unreal amount of floodgates. Put down, like, anti-spell fragrance. Now makes it's even harder for our opponent to win the game. Because we can't use any non-Venom monsters or cards that are like, or just yeah, I got like non-Venom monsters as a no-go, so no Access Code Talker. We might have like a utility extra deck with links, but that's about it. And what else? Maybe you can also throw in Rivalry of Warlords, because we're all reptiles, but it might not work against all opponents. I can't really think of any other trap cards, but I bet some of you could. If any of you can figure out a powerful floodgate to throw into this deck, that's entire purpose is to wipe the board clean so we can get Venomanaga in there and get 3 counters, share it down below. And while you're sharing down below, top of the subscribe button. It's right there. Who knows we can get. It could be the final piece of Exodia you need. Have fun.